this is Lara Hammock with the Marble Jar channel, and in today's video, I'll share how I plan big projects out using Toodledo and Google Calendar. Okay, so you have a big project looming and you are doing everything you can to avoid getting started. Where do you even begin? We all know that awful saying about how to eat an elephant. Well, of course, that's how you have to handle big projects, one bite at a time. So the very first thing you do is you give yourself a 30-minute task, and you can put it in today or you could do it a couple of days in the future, but you need to sit down and you have to break down all of the individual tasks that make up this project. I do this on a Google spreadsheet, and I will link to the sample one that I use for brainstorming. You need to break the project down into doable tasks, and you need to estimate how long each task will take. So let me give you an example. I have a 15-page term paper due for one of my grad school classes this semester. It's about 5 weeks out from the due date, so I think it's a good time to start planning. That probably seems like a long time, but between now and then I have Thanksgiving, I have other papers due, and I have all of the Christmas shopping, so I don't really want to leave it all to the end. I get stressed out when I think stuff is hanging over my head, so planning things out in advance eases that anxiety for me. Okay. So here's my slightly abbreviated list of the things that I would like to do for this paper. Okay, now I need to go in and estimate how much time I think it was going to take to do each task. All right, so once I've done that, I look at my calendar and I block off time for each thing. If the task is 30 minutes or less, I don't necessarily need to block the time on my calendar, but anything over that, I definitely do. So as I determine which days I'll do the task, I block off the time and I put that date on my spreadsheet. So why break projects down at all? So just a quick aside about this before we go on to the next step. This is just my way of taking pressure off my brain. Facing a 5-hour block of time to write 6 to 8 pages is no big deal if I've already done an outline and I've highlighted all the research that I want to use. In fact, at the end of that 5-hour block, I may just feel like powering through and doing a little more. But if I sit down to start a 15-page paper that's due in 2 days, that's not only super stressful, it's going to produce crappy results for me. My brain needs time between writing and researching to come up with creative ideas. Also, this is definitely a conservative approach, so make sure you aren't scheduling everything in at the last minute. You need some cushion built in just in case that some tasks take a little bit longer than you expect. So now I'm going to import these tasks into Toodledo. You're probably thinking, why would you need to put them in 2 places, your calendar and a task list? And the answer is for the same reason I use both of these in everyday life. Task lists help to gather all of the things that need to be done today and in the future. Calendars help to determine when to do them. The problem with using only a calendar is that we aren't great at estimating how long something will take, and on the calendar, the things that haven't been completed don't carry over to the next day. So using both may be duplicative in some ways, but they perform different functions and they back each other up. Also, these tools only work if you look at them every day, so that's an important habit to build if you're planning to use this system. Okay, let's get these tasks from our spreadsheet into Toodledo. There are 2 ways to add multiple tasks to Toodledo for the web. Both of them have merits. Let's start with the more straightforward method, multiple tasks. If you hit the orange Add Task button, one of your options is to add multiple tasks. Clicking on that brings you to a screen where you can cut and paste your tasks. Each one has to be on a new line, and Toodledo will make each into separate tasks. So I can go into my spreadsheet, I can copy the tasks and paste them into Toodledo. So now I'm going to want to assign a special tag to all of these tasks so that I can bring them up all together later. I'm going to use the new tag term paper for these. I think you probably figured out the drawback here. There's no way to add date field or length, so I'm going to have to go in and edit these manually. So I hit save, I go into tags, find my new tag, and edit the due date and perhaps even the length of each task. So I actually prefer this method for shorter projects since it's relatively easy to edit out each one of these manually. For longer projects with lots of tasks, you may want to choose the import file option. So I'm going to put a link to the template that I use in the comments section. You're going to open up this CSV import file in Excel or whatever spreadsheet program that you use. You are going to cut and paste your task name, due date, tag, and length in minutes from your planning sheet and save it. I always just call this Toodledo_import.csv. So now go back into Add Task, and this time select Import Tasks. Now you're going to look for CSV import/export and click on More Details. Now under the Import section, click on Choose File, find your file, and hit Upload. So Toodledo is going to give you a preview on how it has parsed the data. It should be fine if you've used the file that I provided. And once you've okayed that, it will add all of your tasks along with the specified tag, due date, and task length. Now, whenever you want to see how things are progressing on your project, or if you need to switch some dates, you can go into tags, pick the tag for your project, and make whatever changes you need to. I use this planning method for lots of things: party planning, paper writing, home projects, research, decision making, YouTube videos, you name it. Let me know what you think. Comments are always appreciated, and thanks for watching.